started going when I was 3, so I feel like I have quite a bit of Huss Fest knowledge. I was living in West Fargo at the time, and I had moved around college and those types of things, and ended up in West Fargo and was approached by my boss. He said, "Have you ever heard of the Huss Fest?" I said, "Obviously, of course." I grew up, and it was my favorite event in Minot. It was my favorite thing to do. I wrote all of my papers in college on it, and it holds a special place in my heart. So when he said, "Would you move back to Minot, and we're gonna do this thing and bring it back," I jumped on that opportunity. So really excited to be here, and I know there's probably a lot of knowledge of Huss Fest in this room for people that have been around it for many years. So we appreciate all of that knowledge and your support through this. So tonight you can pick up your volunteer wristbands for this area that you are working for the day. We'll just have you check in and we'll write down the area that you are working in. So volunteer wristbands, we will have a different color for each day. You will get your wristband tonight, but when you arrive to the festival, please still check in at the volunteer check-in so that we can get you to your correct location. So when you arrive, you'll have everything, so you won't have to stand in line and get your wristband or t-shirt or anything like that. But head over to volunteer check-in, and Teresa will be
Is that
over
for
there.
their first day? Because you have to check in each day then?
Yep, you'll check in each day. Each day that you come in, we'll check you off the list. That way it's all on our computer system, so if we have your name in there, we can see the amount of shifts you've worked, and then you get the perks of the volunteer program as well. So volunteers will get 15% off merchandise if they've worked 1 shift. If you've worked more than 4 shifts, you'll get 25% off of merchandise plus some other perks in there. So if you would like to see a volunteer program, we can definitely send you one. I didn't print any out tonight, but we can get some printed and held at the volunteer check-in as well. So volunteer parking, when you arrive, there's going to be signs on the main red arch. So volunteer parking will be that gate. All of you here tonight won't have any issues. You'll have your wristbands already ready to go. So show them your wristband and you're good to go. And then they will direct you. So the main arch you'll see off of Burdick right across from the Clarion is where you will enter into park. Volunteer parking is free, and then we will have golf cart shuttles going back and forth from the parking lot area so that we can get you to the front doors here.
And that's across from the Clarion.
Yep, right across from the Clarion. Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yep. When we go through everything tonight, Teresa will check you in and make sure that you're signed up for a shift. So tonight, like I said, you'll receive your wristbands, and then we'll head downstairs and you can pick up your t-shirts as well. So I believe most people in this room are working either our operations room, our music boutiques, our ticket windows, box office, ticket scanning, and ushers.
Nope, they're tomorrow night, the ticket scanners.
Ticket scanners are tomorrow.
And box office tomorrow night.
Okay.
Yep.
There might be some stragglers
Yep.
as well. But,
Yep.
So for our operations room, so I guess backtrack a little bit. So Epic Events, we will have upwards of 15 staff members here. Coming from West Fargo and all over the place that have been helping out with the festival. So each area that you work in will have a chairperson. It might be an Epic staff member, it might be a board member, it might be just someone who is a chairperson working for Huss Fest. So all of the chair people will have staff badges. So for each area that you're working in, you'll meet that person, and any questions that you have, they'll be able to answer those. If you are working in an area that handles money, we will have the chair people pick up the money during the day. You don't have to worry about it. And then our Epic staff will be picking it up at the end of the night. If you have any issues with square units, if you're working with that, or in the box office ticket windows, we will have 2 people they're coming from Shields Arena that work box office at Shields Arena, and run operations there here as well. So we've got a good crew of people coming, so anyone that has a staff badge on will be able to answer any of the questions. It's going to be a blue staff lanyard. So any questions that you have, they are your point person.
So if they work a night shift, they asked if they could come in the morning, so.
Yes, so if you are working an evening shift, and all of you tonight will have your wristbands already, but if you have friends that need this information relayed to, if you are working an afternoon shift, you can show up in the morning, you can check in at the volunteer desk. If you don't have your wristband, get your wristband, enjoy the festival throughout the day, and then report for your shift. Same thing after your shift ends. If you're a morning shift, feel free to stay as long as you want and enjoy the festival. If you are working multiple days, you'll have wristbands for every day, so you can come and go as you please. So everyone in our operations room, I know there's quite a few of those people here tonight. We will have phones and computers and all of the information needed in the operations room. I have one binder up here as an example of what information will be needed. So we've got phone directories that will be listed in each area that you are working in. Each area that volunteers are working in will have a binder with all of the information that you could possibly need. So there will be maps, vendor maps, operations information. If there's questions on volunteering, we've got that in the operations book as well. And then in our operations room, we will have 2 EPIC staff members kind of taking the charge in there as well. So we have a good staff of people that can answer any questions. I know with some of the changes, there's lots of questions, so we're trying to address all of those as accurately as possible. And we've got FAQ pages and different items in that binder as well. But there will always be someone who can answer a question with you at all times during your shift.
And where do they go for operations?
The operations room is going to be, it's the executive suite door, so down the hallway, right down here, and then to your left is the operations room. And that will be unlocked during the day, so any issues that arise, that is where you will head to. Any chairperson, if there is an issue, if something's wrong, something's happening, then you can find your chairperson. The chairperson will then get the correct people and get whatever is needed.
Will that also have your lost and found?
Yep, the operations room will be the lost and found. What am I missing?
Info booth people?
Yes, information booth people. So there are 2 information booths in the festival. There's going to be one in the main entrance. There's going to be quite a few people in the main entrance. It'll be our entrance greeters, information booth people, and then we've got another information booth that is just right down the hallway here. So we'll have people in there. We'll have festival guides, binders with all the information as well, and printed out schedules of everything happening on each stage. So those people, once you check in, you'll get assigned an information booth. And then that will be where you're stationed. If you have any questions leading up to the festival, feel free to come in early before your shift starts. Scroll through the binders, make sure if there's anything that you're interested or feel like you need answers, feel free to stop at our operations room as well, and we can answer any questions you have.
Yeah, and we hope to send out tomorrow morning that email with everyone's schedule.
Great.
So,
And we will, Teresa, as Teresa just said, I should introduce Teresa. Teresa is our head of our volunteers. She's kind of taken that lead on. So she'll be here every day as well. And if you have any volunteer questions or any issues, she'll be located either the volunteer desk or the operations office. We will be sending out another email about your volunteer shifts. If you can't make your shift, please let us know as soon as possible so that we can find someone to fill those shifts. We don't have an excess of extras in some of the areas that we have. So the sooner you can relay that information to